Alright, this video is going to go over how to rebuild a C4 Corvette front calipers with the dual pistons. You see here, you can see it good. These are all cracking, these gaskets, and there's a gasket inside. The other side was sticking, so I'm going to rebuild both. A couple of tools you need: piece of wood, you need an air hose, you need a pick to pull the gaskets out, and you got to be real careful with them. First thing you do, take a little air, put it in here. And that pops the pistons out, and you see how good the rubbers are. They're all ripped. So do not get your fingers there. They will crush your fingers and pull them off. So you can see the gaskets, how they're all torn in there. Once you get it this far, a little muscling, and they pull out. And so this is a gasket. This part goes inside. There's a ridge in here where the outside gasket connects to, and then there's also a ridge in here where it connects. Same thing. See how bad this guy is? Broken, ripped. You see here, this guy stayed in, but there is a groove that it fits in. Hopefully you can see that. You got to be able to put that back in the way it is. And I'll show you how to do it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop, because I'm going to clean this up. You don't need to see me clean it up. Once I come back, I'll show you how I put these back in. The kit, it's less than $10. Caliper, this guy's $100. Less than 10, 100. We're going to save some bucks. Okay, one of the things I got to do, you got to be real careful. There is a gasket in here, right there. You're going to be able to pull that out, and you do not want to score the inside. So you want to get way into the middle and pull that out. In the middle of the rubber, without scoring the inside. So this is a square gasket. It's actually flat on all the sides. It's one of the ones you got to replace, besides the outside one. And what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing the middle and then pulling it out. And these two will be replaced. All right, now it's cleanup time. So I'm working on the cylinders, cleaning them. You can see here, that's from the rubber where it was sitting. You see here, that's from the rubber where it was sitting. All that's got to be cleaned off. And I'm using a mild Scotch-Brite dipped in brake fluid and just rubbing it off real lightly, not to do anything to the cylinder. But you want to get it nice and clean. Already did this one, nice and clean. And before you put them back in, you're going to dip them in brake fluid. Alright. Clean that up pretty good. Still got a, you know, a little of my fingerprints on it. Now, oh, by the way, that is the part number for the kit. And it should have this part number for the bag. In the kit, you get to the outside, to the squares. Top brake fluid. Square just goes in the groove. Make sure it's not twisted. Give it a lot of brake fluid in there. You want a lot of lubrication. I think the cleaning is the most extensive. Takes the most amount of time. Some people paint them. I'm not worried about the outside. You can't see these in the car that it goes in. Now, I've seen these put on a couple of different ways. The way I do it so you can get it in the groove is get the bottom, get it on, push it down to the bottom, past this groove, so it's sitting like this. Let's see if you can see that. All right? Because you got to get this part inside this groove, if you can see it right there. What I do is I get the bottom part in first, push the top in. And I've seen where people just take it, and you see if I can show that to you without it popping out, it is in the groove. And that's the way you want it, because when you push this down, it locks that in. Get it about here. And push it in. Come on. I wanted to keep it out, but okay. See what I'm doing here? I'm pushing it in, getting it ready to pop into the groove. And went too far too fast. I hope I'll have to check it once I get the other side in. Use a little air and push it back out. Make sure it is good. Same thing here. Get it started. Get it in the bottom first, and then work its way in. Making sure it made it into the groove. Thing that I forgot last time is hold on to this so it doesn't push in while you're pushing the cylinder in. And this way, if you keep this up, it's a little easier. You can push it down, get it to lock into the right there. And see? Locks in. Make sure you can see that. See right here. Now it's locked in the bottom, it's locked in the top. That's what you want. And you push it all the way in. Now, what you want to do is test for leaks. You don't want the whole thing coming out because it'll push out the it'll push it out from the gasket. So, make sure the gasket didn't come out, and it didn't. It's all in there good. Both sides. Push back in. And that is it. Some of the kits come with a new bleeder. You can put that in. But that is a rebuild. Less than $10. Now, if you wanted to, you could have cleaned it up and painted it before you put it back together. To me, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to see this with the wheels I got on. But it's rebuilt.